Men were moving west in the 1850s, seeking opportunities in gold and silver mining, hunting, business, or to acquire land. The expanding movement toward the frontier west in the 1850s was considered by some to bring on the onslaught of the decay of Western civilization through vice, and it was blamed on women. Women given to gambling, prostitution, and whiskey drinking were thought to be the hallmarks of the moral failure of a potentially great nation. Wicked Floozies of the Wild West would bring down civilization. In the 1850s, women of an easy and arguably wayward disposition found opportunity west of the Mississippi when they followed the masses of men who were heading out west to seek gold or land in an essentially law-free and lawless territory. Prostitutes and female gamblers hoped to cash in on the vices of the men. And cash in they did. More than half of the working women in the West by the 1870s were prostitutes, according to statistics. Most ranged in age from as young as 14 through age 25, and were referred to as soil doves or sporting women. Women 28 and older were considered to be too old. Women rarely used their real names, but took on new titles such as Lazy Kate or Little Gold Dollar, and the one we will be looking at today was dubbed Squirrel Tooth Alice, named so due to a slight flaw in her teeth, and also because she was known to make pets of prairie dogs, which were also mistaken for squirrels. Libby Thompson, or Squirrel Tooth Alice, became one of the most famous of the Floozies and madams of the Wild West. Libby Haley was born in 1853 in Texas to Mary and James Haley. Her parents owned a ranch along the Brazos River, but Mr. Haley was never a successful farmer, and in 1864, Comanche Indians raided the property to steal their livestock. Along with the livestock, the Comanches took Libby. James and Mary were spared, and they searched for Libby for 3 years. After locating the tribe that had taken her, they were forced to pay a ransom for their daughter's release. They paid it, and Libby returned home 3 years after she had been abducted, but rumor on how the Comanches treated female captives, particularly rape, swirled around Libby's head, and Libby found herself shunned from friends and neighbors. They assumed she had been a willing participant, since she never spoke of her ordeal. Facing such stigma and rejection, Libby found only the company of an older man who accepted her despite her ordeal with the Comanches. Libby brought the man home to meet her parents, and Mr. Haley became enraged and assumed that his teenage daughter had been taken advantage of. Mr. Haley shot and killed Libby's lover man, and the scandal of it all only deepened the ostracism Libby was experiencing. Libby then fled at the age of 14 to start life anew. She took a job in a wild saloon as a dance hall girl in Abilene, Texas, where she met and fell in love with a cowboy gambler named Billy Thompson, who was 24 years of age. The two hit it off like a town on fire, and in 1870 they headed for Texas. Billy worked punching cows and driving cattle, and they moved frequently. When he wasn't doing that, he gambled, and Libby danced and engaged in prostitution in saloons, which Billy did not object to as long as he was receiving the earnings from it. Libby was working the Sweetwater Saloon in Sweetwater, Texas, where she had a large purple velvet chair installed in the corner. She was known to keep 2 prairie dogs, also known as squirrels, as pets in the corner. One evening, 2 drunk cowboys were laughing and teasing her pets. "Boys, I'd thank you kindly to stop that," she warned them. They just laughed at her and ignored her and continued to tease the poor prairie dogs. Squirrel Tooth Alice, as she was now known, pulled a pistol from her drawstring purse and pointed a gun at the men, saying, "Don't make me ask you again." One man told her to go to hell. "I'm on my way," she had said, "but I don't mind sending you there first so you can warn them." And she cocked her pistol. The cowboys then desisted their teasing and staggered out of the saloon, whereby Alice scooped up her pets and kissed them repeatedly, according to the story. Eventually, Alice gave birth to a son that they named Rance. But even having a child did not inspire the couple to settle down. The pair drifted from cowtown to cowtown, plying their trades. Alice, you might say, had become a wicked floozy. In 1873, after an all-night drinking binge, Alice's husband, Billy, accidentally shot and killed a sheriff in Kansas. He was arrested but bailed out by the cattle company he was working for at the time. The two fled town and moved to Dodge City, where Libby took up dancing, prostituting, and performing as a madam. The two befriended Wyatt Earp and his lover, Mattie Blaylock. And the two kept moving, from Kansas to Colorado and then back to Texas. 1876 found the couple purchasing a small ranch and their own dance hall tavern on Main Street. Squirrel Tooth Alice was the main attraction, but she kept a stable of women behind the scenes who brought in the bulk of their fortune. Billy was absent for long periods of time, and Libby's consorting with other men was a source of irritation to him, so he began to seek the company of others. However, the two remained married for 24 years and had 9 children together. They were not the best parents, and most of Alice's sons took to crime, her daughters to prostitution. Eventually, Billy became ill with consumption, which it is believed he contracted in Cripple Creek, Colorado, during a months-long gambling spree. Unable to care for him, Alice sent him to his family members in Texas, where he passed away in 1887. Alice then took up with a cattle rustler known only as Mr. Young. Little is known of this period in her life, but she eventually ceased her wild and wicked ways in 1921 and lived with her children on an alternating basis. Squirrel Tooth Alice, the wicked floozy of the Wild West, died in 1953 of natural causes. She was 97 years old. If you enjoyed this content, please give a like and subscribe. I make videos on history, mystery, and travel with a touch of dark content. And please comment in the comment section. Just write the word floozy if you would like, or anything you want to say. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.